Namaste everyone. I welcome you to this Basics of Indian Mathematics Part 1. So the topic of this class will be the book Sadratnamala, and we will deal with chapters 1 and 2. We'll start Prarthanaya Prarambham Kurma. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjalashalakaya Chakshurmiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmalaspatikakritim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Upasmahe Asadhya Sadhaka Swamin Asadhyam Tava Kim Vada Ramaduta Kripa Sindho Matkaryam Sadhaya Prabho. Okay. Tarhi Atra Ganitashastram Patamaha. Kim Nama Shastram iti Shasti iti Shastram. Shasti itukte one which instructs. Instructing is Shasti. Shasti iti Shastram. Tarhi asmakam Shastranam Adharabhutaha Vedaha iti uchyante. Atra Vedasya Shad Angani Santi. Angani Shad. Tarhi Vedasya Shatsu Angeshu api Jyotisham Anyatamam. Atra Yatha Atra uchyate Chandah Padau tu Vedasya Hastaha Kalpotha Pathyate Jyotisham Ayanam Chakshuhu Niruptam Shrotramutyate Shikshagranam tu Vedasya Mukham Vyakaranam Smritam Tasmat Angamadityaiva Brahmaloke Mahiyate iti. Tarhi Kani Tani Angani iti Atra Veda Purushasya Angani Vedangani Te Tani Jyotisham Yad Vedasya Chakshuhu iti uchyate Netre Netram iti Anantaram Vyakaranam Yad Vedasya Mukham asti Shiksha iti Shiksha eva Nasika Vedasya Shiksha Shastram Niruktam Karnaustaha Anantaram Kalpaha Hastaha asti Chandaha Padha. Atra brief introduction to this. Jyotisham is the astronomy which as we all know, the eyes of the Vedas. If you imagine the Veda as a Purusha, so if you think of a Veda as a person, so Jyotisham is the Chakshuhu. So Nayanam, Atra yet the eyes are the one which leads a person. So Jyotisham is given that importance. And then Vyakaranam. So Mukham, it is the mouth of the Vedas. Basically, that's how you talk, and that's you tell out the words with using the mouth. So Vyakaranam is how you express in the words in the Vedas. And Shiksha is the Nasika, and then Niruktam is the are the ears. Kalpaha, Kalpa is the in what all prayogas we do are all mentioned in the Kalpa Shastram. So it is the hasta, it's the hand of the Veda Purusha. Chandaha iti Padaha iti. The foot of the Vedas. Okay, so in this Jyotisham, so our topic Adya Idanim Asmakam Vishayah Asti Jyotisham iti. Kim nama Jyotisham? Kala Vidhana Shastram Jyotisham. Idanim Kala Vidhanam Kimartham Chintayato Atra Idanim Sandhyavandana Kalaha Kada Bhavati Sandhyavandana Kalaha iti Kalaha Kaha Kada Kartavyam Nityane Nityaka Karmani iti Karta Kartavyani iti Chet Tatra Kala Nirnayaha Avashyakaha. Tatra Vedahi Yajnartham Abhipravrittaha Kalanupurvaha Vihitaschayajnaha. अत्र यज्ञाः कालानुपूर्वाः एव विहिताः सन्ति। तस्मात् इदं कालविधानशास्त्रं। यो ज्योतिषं वेद स वेद यज्ञान्। तर्हि कालनिर्णयं कर्तुं ज्योतिषशास्त्रम् अस्माकं साहाय्यं करोति। तदर्थं कालविधानशास्त्रमेव ज्योतिषम् इति। कदा सन्ध्यावन्दनकालः इत्युक्ते प्रातःकाले सन्ध्यावन्दनं करणीयं चेत् सूर्योदयात् पूर्वम् इति। कदा सूर्योदयः भवति इति ज्योतिषशास्त्रम् अस्मान् बोधयति। तथा अत्र कालमापनं कालनिर्णयं च ज्योतिषशास्त्रेण क्रियते। एवम् अत्र वयं ज्योतिषीं दृष्ट्वा वक्तुं शक्नुमः कालः कः इति। अतः कालमापनं कालनिर्णयं च ज्योतिषशास्त्रेण क्रियते इति उच्यते। तर्हि मापनम् इति चेत् कश्चन मापनक्रिया गणितशास्त्रेणेव क्रियते खलु। अतः गणितम् अत्र मुख्यं प्राधान्यमस्ति। तर्हि गणितशास्त्रस्य महत्त्वं किं? यथा शिखा मयूराणां नागानां मणयो यथा तद्वत् वेदाङ्गशास्त्राणां गणितं मूर्धनि स्थितम् इति उच्यते। तर्हि तत्र यथा मयूराणां शिखाः, मयूराः सन्ति, तेषां शिखाः तत्र शिरोमणिः इव भवति। तथा नागसर्पाणां, नागः इति अत्र सर्पार्थे नागः इति गजः अपि अस्ति, परन्तु अत्र सर्पः इति स्वीकर्तव्यम्। अतः नागसर्पाणां मणयः च शिरसि विराजन्ते। नागानामपि मणिः शिरसि एव विराजते। तथा षण्णामपि वेदाङ्गशास्त्राणां शिरसि गणितं विलसति। अतः इदानीं 6 अङ्गानि वयं दृष्टवन्तः, तत्रापि गणितमेव शिरोमणिः इव विराजते इति उच्यते एतेन श्लोकेन। ज्योतिषशास्त्रम् आकाशे ग्रहनक्षत्राणां ज्योतिषां गतिविशेषेषु प्रवर्तते। एवं वयं यदि पश्यामः, आकाशे ग्रहाः सन्ति, नक्षत्राणि सन्ति, ते ज्योतिस् इति ग्रहः अपि च नक्षत्रम् अस्ति चेत् तस्य ज्योतिः इति उच्यते। ज्योतिषां गतिविशेषेषु कथं सर्वे आकाशे सर्वे चरन्ति एव, अतः तेषां गतिविशेषाः सन्ति। गतिविशेषेषु प्रवर्तते ज्योतिषशास्त्रम्। गणितं ज्योतिषशास्त्रस्य प्रधानम् अङ्गभूतं भवति। अतः इदानीं गणितं किमर्थं गणितं पठामः इति चेत् ज्योतिषशास्त्रस्य प्रधानम् अङ्गम् इति कृत्वा वयं गणितं पठामः। यदि ज्योतिषशास्त्रं पठामः तत्र गणितं तु अनिवार्यं भवति। गणितमेव तत्र मुख्यांशः भवति इति अर्थः। इदानीं महावीराचार्यस्य गणितसारसङ्ग्रहे आचार्यः वदति, बहूनां शास्त्राणां बहुषु शास्त्रेषु अपि गणितं प्रयुज्यते। अतः सर्वत्र गणितम् अस्ति इति। बहुविप्रलापैः किं त्रैलोक्ये सचराचरे यत्किञ्चित् वस्तु तत्सर्वं गणितेन विना न हि इति वदति। तत्र गणितस्य प्रयोगयुतानां नानाक्षेत्राणाम् आवलिः किं कथयित्वा समापयितुं शक्यते इति। अतः यदि वयं गणयामः, अस्तु अस्मिन् शास्त्रे गणितप्रयोगः अस्ति, गणितस्य प्रयोगः अस्ति। उदाहरणं पाकशास्त्रे पाकक्रिया कुर्मः चेत् कथं कियत् लवणं तत्र स्थापनीयम् इति सर्वम् अस्माभिः ज्ञेयं खलु। यदि वयं न जानीमः, लवणं न्यूनं भवति चेत् खादितुं न अर्हति तत् पदार्थं, जनः न अर्हति पदार्थं खादितुं न अर्हति। यतो इति यदि अधिकं लवणं स्थापयामः तदापि किञ्चित् क्लेशः भवति। अतः सर्वत्र अपि गणितशास्त्रं प्रयुज्यते इति। एवं बहुविधैः प्रलापैः किं प्रयोजनं? वस्तुतः यद्यद्वस्तु चराचरे प्रपञ्चे विद्यते तत्सर्वं गणितेन विना नैव सम्भवति इति। इदानीम् आधुनिककाले अपि वयम् अत्र इदानीं सङ्गणकम् अस्ति चेत् इदानीं वयं तु अत्र मेलितुमेव न शक्नुमः। तथा सर्वत्र गणितशास्त्रस्य प्रयोगः अस्ति। वयं गणितशास्त्रं विना वयं जीवितुमेव न शक्नुमः वयम् इति अर्थः। इदानीं गणितचारसङ्ग्रहे इतोपि वदति आचार्यः, जलधिरिव रत्नानि पाषाणादिव काञ्चनं शुक्तेर्मुक्ताफलानीव संख्याज्ञानमहोदधेः इति। अत्र किं कः अर्थः? यथा समुद्रात् रत्नानि लभ्यन्ते, समुद्रे लभ्यन्ते, यथा पाषाणात् सुवर्णं प्राप्यते, शिलायाः छेदनेन सुवर्णं प्राप्यते, तथा शुक्तीनां, यदि अत्र पर्ल्स् इति वदामः खलु, आयस्टर् पर्ल्स् इति, तथा शुक्तीनां सञ्चयात् मौक्तिकस्य प्राप्तिः भवति। तद्वत् ज्ञानसागरात् गणितशास्त्रम् उपलभ्यते। यदि ज्ञानसागरं वर्तते यत् तत्र ज्ञानसागरः वर्तते यः, तस्मिन् गणितशास्त्रं मौक्तिकमिव अस्ति इति वदति। नानाविधरत्नानि सन्ति, परन्तु मौक्तिकं तु उत्कृष्ट रत्नम् अस्ति। तथा गणितशास्त्रमपि ज्ञानसागरे मौक्तिकमिव, जलधिरिव रत्नानि, जलधेः इव रत्नानि। समुद्रे रत्नानि सन्ति, अपि च पाषाणात् काञ्चनं लभ्यते, तथा ज्ञानसागरे गणितम् इति मुख्यः एकः विषयः अस्ति, तत् रत्नमिव अस्ति इति वदति। There are some questions. I will answer those questions at the end of the session. So there are a lot of questions. You'll probably hopefully get answers to all the most of the questions as we go forward. Okay. इदानीं भारतीयगणितज्ञानां लघुपरिचयः। अत्र गणितज्ञाः आसन् भारते, तेषां लघुपरिचयः इदानीं लघुपरिचयं पश्यामः। आर्यभटः, एतानि नामानि श्रुतपूर्वाणि प्रायः, अतः प्रसिद्धाः एते गणितज्ञाः। दीस् आर् फेमस् मैथमेटिशियन्स्। अतः किञ्चित् we will see in a very not in depth, we'll see in a very shallow manner what they did when they lived and what was their work. आर्यभटः इति कश्चन गणितज्ञः, तस्य जीवनकालः तु प्रायः 5మే शताब्दे आसीत्, 5th century। आर्यभटीयम् इति बहु प्रसिद्धः ग्रन्थः। This is astronomical work on astronomy। वराहमिहिरः इति सः अपि 5మే शताब्दे आसीत्। पञ्चसिद्धान्तिका बृहत्संहिता इति तस्य रचनाः वर्तन्ते। एवं बृहत्संहिता इति इट्स् ए वेरी फेमस् वर्क्, बृहत्संहिता। अनन्तरं ब्रह्मगुप्तः, ब्रह्मस्फुटसिद्धान्तः इति नाम तस्य बहु प्रसिद्धः ग्रन्थः। कण्डकाद्यकमपि तस्य अन्यः ग्रन्थः अस्ति। अनन्तरं भास्कराचार्यः प्रथमः। He is not very well known. The Bhaskaracharya too was very well known for his work on Lilavati. We'll come to that. भास्कराचार्यः इति तस्य आर्यभटीयभाष्यं, यत् आर्यभटेन लिखितः ग्रन्थः आसीत्, तस्य भाष्यं विवरणं करोति। लघुभास्कर्यं महाभास्कर्यम् इति अपि तस्य ग्रन्थद्वयं वर्तते। लघुभास्कर्यम् इति शार्ट् वर्क्, महाभास्कर्यम् इति बृहत्, इट्स् अ बिगर् वर्क्। श्रीधराचार्यः इति अपि आसीत्। पाटीगणितम् इति गणित, एते सर्वे तु ज्योतिषशास्त्रग्रन्थाः, अतः ज्योतिषमपि अस्ति, परन्तु पाटीगणितम् इति गणितमेव तत्र विषयः अस्ति। सो इट् इस् वर्क् प्यूर्लि आन् मैथमेटिक्स्। एण्ड् देन् पाटीगणितसारः त्रिशतिका इति, सो ही रोट् मोर् summary work on this work, पाटीगणितम्। अनन्तरं महावीराचार्यः, यथा अहं पूर्वम् उक्तवान्, गणितसारसङ्ग्रहः इति, दिस् इस् आल्सो वर्क् ऑन प्यूर्लि ऑन मैथमेटिक्स। गणितमेव तत्र विषयः, गणितम् एव। अनन्तरम् आर्यभट्टः द्वितीयः, अन्यः एकः आसीत् आर्यभट्टः इति, दशमे शताब्दे आसीत्, 10th century mathematician। महासिद्धान्तः इति अन्यः एकः ग्रन्थः आसीत् तस्य। श्रीपतिः इति गणिततिलकम्। अनन्तरं सिद्धान्तशेखरः इति सिद्धान्तज्योतिषं विषयकः ग्रन्थः, तत्र ज्योतिषग्रन्थः। गणिततिलकम् इति गणितमेव तत्र विषयः। अनन्तरं भास्कराचार्यः इति बहु प्रसिद्धः गणितज्ञः, लीलावती इति तस्य ग्रन्थः आसीत्। अनन्तरं बीजगणितं, सिद्धान्तशिरोमणिः इति अन्यमपि ग्रन्थौ लिखितवान्। तत्र लीलावती इति बहु प्रसिद्धमासीत्। लीलावती इस् अ वेरी फेमस् टेक्स्ट एंड इट हैज बीन ट्रांसलेटेड इन मेनी languages. There are at least 40 commentaries on Leelavati, and Leelavati was studied by he was a 12th century mathematician till around 18th century. Leelavati was a text which was studied as a mathematics text by a lot of in Indian traditional mathematics. So it is so very famous that it has translations in many languages, and also commentaries by a lot of people. Just like Bhagavad Gita is a grantha, like where there are a lot of translations and commentaries because of its importance. Leelavati also has a lot of translations and commentaries. Okay, so beyond this, after this, there was a big, a very important period of time in Kerala, Keraliya Ganita Parampara iti. तत्र केरलीयाः एव तत्र तदनन्तरं बहु किमपि कार्यं कृतवन्तः भारतीयगणितशास्त्रे इति। तत्र माधवः इति सः एव पुरस्सरः, pioneer of Kerala School of Mathematics, if you want to say. तत्र केरलीयगणितज्ञेषु पुरोगामी संस्थापकः च. So infinite series for pi. So Madhava is very famous for his infinite series of pi, and it's also said that the first infinite series for pi was suggested by Madhava. अतः अत्र तस्य बहु प्रसिद्धः ग्रन्थः आसीत्. सः तस्मिन् infinite series of pi इति तत्र लिखति. अनन्तरं परमेश्वरः माधवाचार्यस्य शिष्यः, माधवस्य शिष्यः, तत्र भटदीपिका, कर्मदीपिका, परमेश्वरी, दृग्गणितम् इति सर्वं तेन कृतम्. इदानीं इदानीं दृक्पञ्चाङ्गः इति, the Drik-Panchanga which we are following now, it was due to Parameshwara. He was also a Kerala mathematician, and he was Madhava's disciple. अनन्तरं नीलकण्ठः सोमयाजी इति तत्र तन्त्रसङ्ग्रहः इति बहु प्रसिद्धः ग्रन्थः तस्य. अनन्तरम् आर्यभटीयभाष्यमपि लिखितवान्. आर्यभटीयस्य भाष्यग्रन्थमपि लिखितवान्. अनन्तरं गोलसारः, सिद्धान्तदर्पणम् इति अपि लिखितवान्. परन्तु तन्त्रसङ्ग्रहः इति बहु प्रसिद्धः ग्रन्थः आसीत्. तत्रापि बहु he has given a lot of proofs for Madhava's work, on Madhava's work. ज्येष्ठदेवः इति युक्तिभाषा इति, तत्र युक्तिभाषा इति मलयालग्रन्थः, मलयाल भाषायाम् अस्ति. So this is a book in Malayalam, and it is supposed to be the first book on calculus, where there are a lot of proofs where there are a lot of proofs available for calculus proofs. So this was supposed to be the first book of calculus. This was pre-Newton era. So Newton and Leibniz are credited to be the founders of calculus. But Jeshtadeva has, because it's in Malayalam, it was not very famous, of course. So Jeshtadeva's work did not come out, and now people understand this. Jeshtadevaः इति तस्य युक्तिभाषा इति ग्रन्थः, तत्र गणितयुक्तिभाषा इति कश्चन संस्कृतानुवादः अपि अस्ति. There is a Sanskrit translation to युक्तिभाषा called Ganita Yuktibhasha. We don't know the author's name, but it is now in Sanskrit also available. And then the next one is Shankaravarya. He's Nilakanta Shishyah, Anantaram Jeshtadevasya api Shishyah asit. So Samakalinaha asan. It is Trayah api. So he has written 3 books: Yukti Deepika, Laghu Vritti, Kriya Karmakari iti. Kriya Karmakari iti Leelavatyaha Bhashyam. It's a commentary on Leelavati. He has a very nice way of presenting it, a lot of karika in verse forms also. So this is a very famous commentary on Leelavati. Achyuta Pisharati iti tatra Sputanirnayah, Rashigola Sputanitihi, Uparaga Kriyakramaha iti Grantaha Saha Grantan Saha Likitavan. अनन्तरं मेल्पतुरु नारायणभट्टत्रिः, यतः तु अच्युतस्य शिष्यः. गणितशास्त्रे तस्य नाम बहुत्र न श्रूयते, परन्तु नारायणीयम् इति भक्तिग्रन्थः अस्ति, तस्य रचना अस्ति, बहु प्रसिद्धः. सो वी आल् नो इट्, मोस्ट् आफ् यू नो प्राबब्लि नारायणीयम् इति भक्तिग्रन्थः. अनन्तरं प्रक्रियासर्वस्वम् इति व्याकरणग्रन्थमपि लिखितवान् सः वैयाकरणः अपि आसीत्. अतः द्वौ ग्रन्थौ तु प्रसिद्धौ स्तः, परन्तु सः तु अपि गणितज्ञः आसीत्. सो ही वास्, so in the last verse of Narayaniyam, he Ayuraragya-saukyam iti sah likati. So it gives a date, his own date. So this Kerala mathematicians had a very nice way of dating the book. So basically they write, when did I live, when did I write this book. So they give a date based on the Katapayadi Sankhya. We'll talk about it later. In that Narayaniyam verse, in the last verse of Narayaniyam, he writes this Ayur Arogya Saukyam. So he denotes the date of the book by using this verse in these words, Ayur Arogya Saukyam. So Melpatru Narayana Bhattatrihi is also comes in the Kerala Parampara. Anantram Putamana Somayaji iti Karana Paddhatihi iti Pustaka Grantham Likitavan, Bahu Prasiddhah asti. अनन्तरम् अस्माकम् अमुकं अत्र विषयः अस्ति सद्रत्नमाला इति. प्रायः 18 शतके आसीत् सः. तत्र शङ्करवर्मा इति तस्य नाम. इदानीं so if you see here, it is starting from the 13th to 14th century to 18th century, 19th century, early 19th century. These Kerala mathematicians did a enormous contribution to the field of mathematics and Indian mathematics basically. So mostly it was focused in Kerala, we could say. The main focus of the mathematics was developed in Kerala and very small in the Malabar region. And if you see this, Shankaravarma, at this point the British were already there in India. So Shankaravarma still wrote this book and based on the Parampara and Paddhati. So at this point already India had started Western education. Westerners, the British had already started their education system in India. So we will तत्र किञ्चित् अन्यः अपि विषयः अस्ति. वैदिकगणितम् इति बहुत्र श्रूयते इदानीन्तनकाले. तत्र स्वामिना भारतीकृष्णतीर्थेन विरचितः ग्रन्थः अस्ति. एतत् अत्र पश्यन्तु. प्राचीनः ग्रन्थः नास्ति, प्रायः 1950s. So Swamiji lived in the even the later part of 1900s. So basically beyond 1950, this book was published. So if you see his age, his time is 1884 to 1960. So towards the end of his life, he wrote this book. Probably he wrote it and it was lost. And if you read the preface of the book, they say that it is lost, and so somebody else brought it out to publication and all these things. Parantu granthathani sutrani kutaha iti jnayate. So he names it Vedic mathematics, but we don't see that those sutras which is there in the book anywhere in the Vedas. So it is a bit controversial why he called it Vedic mathematics. Ataha anashrita vedam ganitam iti bahunam matam. Ataha vede tasya pratishtha nasti iti. So we do not, all the scholars, the current day scholars, do not agree that and do not count this as something which is related to the Vedas or something. So he just named it Vedic mathematics, so it's probably a misnomer. Ityeva uchyate. Atha ganita paramparayam na ganyate ayam grantaha. So this is not counted as one of the ancient Indian mathematics texts. So I just wanted to make it clear, because a lot of people, when I told about this course, they were like, I am very much interested in Vedic mathematics. Vedic mathematics, if you want to learn some techniques, you can fast arithmetic techniques, you can go pick up this book and you can feel the adrenaline rush, if you want to call it, and you can feel good about it. But this is not a part of the Indian mathematics tradition. As I said, probably the last, the most recent of the ancient mathematics text was Sadratnamala, which we are going to study in this class. So there may not be anything. If you go down, probably there may be some manuscripts which are available, but for now, I think the most recent of the ancient mathematics texts which is available to us is Sadratnamala. So we are going to study that. Okay. So there were a lot of questions on this. Why not teach this course completely in English? I started out with talking a lot of Sanskritam. So there was a question: why is this? Why are we doing this? Why not do this in English? The answer is this: a good English translation is already available. This is a book which is published by the Kuppuswamy Shastri Research Institute. It's called KSRI in Chennai. This book is the English translation of the Sadratnamala, so you can already pick this book and you can read if you want to start do this only in English. That's not the goal of this course. We will talk about it. It can be understood with high level knowledge of mathematics. So basically, high school level knowledge. If you know high school mathematics, you can just pick this book and you can understand. You don't have to come to this class to understand what is there in this course. So the answer to this is in English. Why not teach it completely in English? I don't have to teach it in English because there is already good material available. This course is an attempt to understand the text directly in Sanskritam, mainly to understand the unique mathematical technical terms. So this, I want to spend a few minutes talking about this. I will talk only in English. One thing is translation work. I mean, we all know this. Most of you who are here might know this, that a translation can go only so far to learn any text. What the author had in mind, to get the essence of the text, a translation can give you only so much mileage. Even the best translation can give you only that best mileage. Basically, that too, Shastra, our own Shastras, for example, Vedanta Shastra and all these things, that's even it will give you lesser mileage, I would say, because there are some terms, technical, very difficult to. Dharma, for example, it is very, very difficult to translate that. But in mathematical text, it's not that difficult. For example, we all learn Western mathematics. So when we translate something, it is a well-known thing. So the problem of non-translatables is not a problem. Okay. Are you able to hear me? No? Sorry, I'm feeling that there are some. Okay, good. Okay, thank you. So at least mathematics texts like this are, it's not very difficult to translate it, because multiplication, division, we have very, very strong technical terms in Western mathematics also. So it is not difficult. We don't have problem of, okay, how do you translate a term like dharma to that, to the English? But there is another problem here. If we want to understand this text and what are the models they used, and this ancient Greek mathematicians used, we have to study this in Sanskrit. There is no other option to do this better. What is this? I'm not able to hear you. If you're not able to hear me, please log out and log in again. Looks like everybody others, all others are able to hear me. Okay, so I hopefully answered partly why I'm going to teach this mostly in Sanskritam, because it is any text, for example, for any text which is, if you're not learning it in the language it is written, you cannot get the best out of it. You will not be able to understand the whole. It gives some license to the translator to, even if it's a good translator, he cannot do the best to translate it. Okay, the other part is, and of course, this book will serve as a reference book for this course. So please, I highly recommend if you can buy this book. This is available. If you can Google for it, it will be available. Kupuswami Shastri Research Institute in Chennai. This was a book published in 2012, which is only 10 years back. And also this Research Institute, a word or two about this institute. They are into a very noble mission of converting manuscripts, bringing it to publication. So it's all our duty also to support this organization. So even if you just buy this book, it will support that organization. So that's why I highly recommend buying this book. So this will be a reference book for this course, but it's not compulsory to buy this book. We will only use another small manuscript which is available online to use as a text. Okay, and again, why teaching Sanskrit language? So there is a very more compelling reason. I'm going to talk about it. Only 450 or 5% of the estimated 9,000 source texts which are available in manuscript form has been edited and published so far. This is a very, very low number, 5% of the 9,000 source texts. So they're all available in manuscripts. If you can imagine, they are in palm leaves or something, whatever it is, form, and it has been published. So they have to be edited and published. So it's a huge work. 95% of the manuscripts are yet to be published, and there's a lot of work in for people. And then even among the 450 or so published work, only 96 texts have been seriously studied. So again, we are from 450 we are down to 96 and explicated via translations and explanatory commentaries with a view to bring out the technical content. So mathematical, astronomical content. So from 450 we are back down to 96. So 96, whatever I showed till now are also not even, it doesn't count to 96, right? So only out of those 96 texts, we only study very, very few texts. As I said, it's all very famous and all these things. There was another question in the previous slide. Are these all texts available? Most of them are available, whichever I listed. Most of them are available in as published works. Okay, and most of these editions and studies have been brought out during the last 70 years. So, and this is largely due to voluntary and dedicated efforts. So nobody is giving the people who did this work and translated works, nobody is giving them a job and giving them a funding and saying that please do it. They all did it out of their own interest, of their own time, and then and number of Indian scholars, there's little scope and support for such work in institution of higher learning. So most of the higher learning institutes in India do not give a lot of funding for this. So we should be very fortunate for those people who did their work voluntarily and with their dedication. So it's of the past 70 years. And now there is a need of the hour is the training young scholars for undertaking all these tasks. And it should be integral part of the courses and research conducted in institutions of higher learning. So why did I decide to offer this course and decide that okay, it will be mostly in Sanskritam, is for some of you. There are a lot of people in this course. It's a success even if one or two of you just come up and take this up as a, let's say we start as a hobby and start picking up these texts and understand that. And so then we can make a this community should expand. Right now in India or all over the world, there are like you can count it with the fingers of one hand the number of scholars who understand these texts and also can come out and first edit these texts. So if they are in palm leaves, you don't even, they are probably the text or the words are all smudged, and they have to first make sure that the word is there, and they have to bring it to publication, to print, and then somebody should take up also write commentaries on and give explanation to those things. So it's a humongous effort for the amount of source resources we have. There is some treasure which is there, lying there, and if it is just allowed to die, that's the worst we could do for our culture. So it's a very important thing. Is why I'm teaching this in Sanskrit language is for people to get rid of that. Okay, I'm going to learn only through English translation or commentaries. I'm going to wait for somebody to write a commentary or write a translation. That's not for those people. There are things available. You can go and pick up a lot of English translations which are available. This course is not going to be of much help to you. Okay, so there is if there is another question that, okay, I don't know Sanskritam, so how can I start? You are in the right place. So vyoma-samskrta-pathasala is Samskrita-pathasala. So they offer course for all levels, from beginner to advanced learners. And I would say the Sanskritam in these texts are not of very difficult. For example, they don't use samasas like Kalidasa uses in Raghuvamsha or something like that. They use very simple language. It is just like if you pick up an economics text in economics book, textbook in economics, he doesn't write some poetic, flowery English language, the author, he or she, right? So it is, you don't, they write the content, economics is the content. It's not about to show their English proficiency. Like that, these authors, the mathematics texts who they wrote, even though they write in poetry form, there is some, for example, Lilavati is very well known for its poetry, but still you can, it's not as difficult as like Raghuvamsha, Mahakavya, and all these things. So if you spend like 2-3 years of dedicated effort to learn Sanskritam, you can easily pick up these concepts from this book. You can easily understand what these authors are trying to say. So I earnestly, humbly request all of you to take this as some sankalpa and start digging up this. So in this course also I will give you homeworks based on other texts. So basically we will just take some text from any other grantha or commentaries, and we will just try to decode them and understand what the author is trying to say or something. So that it will at least give you some confidence that, okay, I can also understand this. And so basically this whole point is it's not something which I can do in one course or something. So training young scholars for undertaking all these tasks, it has to come from within. And so, but this is just hopefully motivation to all of you to pick up, and at least there is something out there. And most Sanskritam people who learn Sanskritam either learn Vyakaranam or like Vedanta. There are a lot of there's a huge ocean of granthas, but there is also this which is mathematics, which is out there. So if some of you are interested, please try to make an effort to learn this. It takes time, but right now in India also the Indian knowledge system is taking is important. There is also a government wing called Indian Knowledge Systems, and there is a lot of funding for that also. So things are looking better. Okay, so hopefully I answered this question about why I'm teaching this in Sanskrit. I know a lot of people are disappointed about this. I wanted to learn Sadratnamala, and though I don't understand Sanskritam, but as I said, you can pick up this English text and go ahead. But this whatever Sanskritam I'm going to talk is not very high level Sanskritam, so you should be able to understand it. You just come and hear, listen to it. Okay. So this, of course, this is above accepted from a scholarly article, The Untapped Wealth of Manuscripts in Indian Astronomy and Mathematics by Dr. M.D. Srinivas. So Dr. M.D. Srinivas is an expert in this field. ओके, इदानीं सद्रत्नमाला ग्रन्थपरिचयः इति। प्रायः 1819 तमे वर्षे रचितः ग्रन्थः। अनन्तरं 6 प्रकरणानि सन्ति। 6 प्रकरणानि इत्युक्ते 6 चाप्टर्स्, 212 अत्र 12,200 श्लोकाः सन्ति। तत्र कानि कानि प्रकरणानि: परिकर्माष्टकप्रकरणं, परिभाषाप्रकरणं, पञ्चाङ्गप्रकरणं, जापादिप्रकरणं, पञ्चबोधप्रकरणं, गणितपरिष्करणप्रकरणम्। अत्र वयं प्रकरणद्वयं किञ्चित् पठामः। प्रथमं प्रकरणद्वयं पठामः। So these are the two prakaranam we will learn. The other things get into astronomy, so only these two are pure mathematics, so we will cover these two. रचयितुः स्वीयं व्याख्यानं मलयाळभाषायां वर्तते. So the other one of the very nice things about this is most of Indian scholars, they write a text in and they also write a commentary on those texts by themselves. So this is seen in all shastras. They write a book and they write a detailed commentary on their own work. So Sadratnamala Shankaravarma writes a Malayalam commentary on his own work, Sadratnamala. So based on this, the English translation is also based on the Malayalam commentary. So that is the Grantha Parichayah. इदानीं ग्रन्थकारस्य शङ्करवर्मणः परिचयः. सो ग्रन्थस्य परिचयः अभवत्, इदानीं ग्रन्थकारस्य परिचयः शङ्करवर्मणः. सो शङ्करवर्मा इति तस्य नाम. सः घटोत्कचपुरे भैमीभूमौ जातः. घटोत्कचपुरम् इति तस्य नगरस्य नाम. सो बेसिकलि इट् इस् घटोत्कचपुर, सो कत्तनाड् इति उच्यते मलयाळराज्ये. Okay, sir, there's a question asked by some of is the Malayalam commentary available online? I tried finding it. I couldn't find the Malayalam commentary. So, and also Malayalam is not my language, so I didn't explore further. So if anybody here understands Malayalam, please explore that. If the Malayalam commentary is available also, it's very good to study, read it. घटोत्कचपुरम् इति तस्य नाम. भैमी भूमिः. So Ghatotkacha was the son of Bhima, so he is called Bhaimi. So Bhaimi भूमिः इति तस्य नाम. अनन्तरं कडत्तनाड् इति अपि तस्य नाम अस्ति. अनन्तरं अप्पुतम्पूनान् इति तस्य तत्रत्य जनैः ज्ञातः. So he is called by the local people called Apputampuran. So just a nickname or whatever people call, the locals call him as Apputampuran. अनन्तरम् अग्रजौ आस्तां राजा उदयवर्मा अपि च रामवर्मा इति. राजा इति चेत् तत्र वर्मा इति क्षत्रिय कुलः, अतः एव वर्मा इति अस्ति. राजा आसीत्. He was a king or somebody who was a ruler of a small province. So we'll see what the province name is. So he had two elder brothers, Udayavarma and Ramavarma. अनन्तरं रामवर्मणः प्रेरणया रचितः अयं ग्रन्थः. So his second brother really encouraged him and to write this book. So based on his second brother's encouragement, he wrote Shankaravarma wrote this book Sadratnamala इति. अपि च इदानीं लोकमलयार् कावु इति अस्ति. इदानीं केरळराज्ये इदानीमपि अस्ति. यदि भवद्भिः शक्यते तत्रापि गच्छन्तु. अत्र कन्नूर् अनन्तरं कोळिकोड् मध्ये अस्ति. सो इट् इस् इन् द कोस्टल्, इट्स् क्लोसर् टु द वेस्ट् कोस्ट् आफ् केरला. So it's called Lokanar Kavu. So most of the temples in Kerala are like Kavu, are Kavus. So basically, and they are Bhagavati Amma, Ambal is the presiding deity there. So Lokamba iti tasya tatra sa asti devata. Lokavanidhara Saridarama Sannidhi iti sahayava likati. Sadratnamalayam Shankarvarma likati. Atra Lokavanidhara Sarit iti Lokamalayar Kavu ityasya Sanskrita nama. So this is the temple who is the present deity of. So he praised his family deity probably is this deity. So he prays to her and starts the grantha. So this is where the temple is. So we will start with the Mangalacharanam. We will do 1 or 2 shlokas, and then I will try to answer some questions whichever you have. If you have some questions, you can type out in the Q&A. I can just take some questions, and I'll also tell you if you have further questions. We can also do it in the discussion forum. I'll talk about it. Tarhi Mangalacharanam Prathamaha Shlokaha Asti. Shri Parvatyascha Lokavaniधर Saridharama Sannidhavatyaha Padambojam Gurunamapi Satatam Anusmritya Natvarunadim Jyotishastrabdhi Kirnam Vishada Ganita Saropti Sadratnamalam Sangrihyenam Ekamaha Pipatishu Jana Sandharana Swalpayatnam. Padachetaha Shri Parvatyaha Cha Lokavanidhara Saridharama Sannidhavatyaha Padambojam Gurunam Api Satatam Anusmritya Natva Arunadim Jyotishastrabhikirnam Vishada Ganita Saropti Sadratnamalam Sangrihya Enam Likamaha Pipatishu Jana Sandharana Swalpayatnam.
Samudraha Jyotishastram eva Samudraha iti asti. He is saying that Jyotishastram ityeva Sagaraha asti Tatra Vishada Ganita Sarokti Sadratnamala. Vishadaha iti Spashtaha iti artha. Ganita Saroktihi Ganita Sarasya Uktihi Sadratnamala. Sadratnamala eva Ganita Saroktihi. So he is saying Sadratnamala is giving the essence of Jyotishastram, and it is making it very clear. Spashtaha Vishadaha iti Spashtaha. Atra Jyotishastra Abdikirnam ityukte atra pashyatu Jyotishastrabdo Kirna Vikshipta. It is scattered over the whole ocean of Jyotishastram. That one is those. What are those scattered? They are this Ratnaha Santi. Kanitani Ratnani iti Sadratnamala. Satam Ratnanam Mala. So he is just taking all those pearls and making a nice garland out of it. This is what he's trying to say. So the Sadratnamala, he is taking all this those things which are scattered nicely in the Sagaram, in the ocean of Ganita Shastra, Jyotish Shastra, and then he is taking all those pearls of mathematics and then making a nice garland out of it. This is what he's saying. Atra sangrihya, atra enam likamaha. Enam likamaha, enam ityukte Sadratnamalam enam likamaha. Kimartham likami iti. So one of the things is that in Indian tradition, you don't write a book just because you're feeling bored at home or you don't have anything else to do. So there should be a reason, and there is something called Anubandha Chatushtayam which people talk about. So Anubandha Chatushtayam, like what is the prayojanam, what is the subject matter, all these things are told. So I'm not going to go into detail of that, but Pipatishu Jana Sandharana Swalpayatnam. So basically just Swalpayatnam Jananam, Pipatishu Jananam Sandharana. So he's writing it for the ease of those people who are interested in learning the Jyotish Shastram. Jyotish Shastre Pipatashavaha Tebhyaha Likami Sandharanartham. So to learn, for those people to learn this Shastram is what he's talking about. Okay, I think we have just run out of time. I will stop here and we will continue from the next class. I just wanted to start this text because today was an auspicious day. So I wanted to start this text. So we did this. I'm going to, if there are any questions, I can take a couple of questions. Okay, but before that, I wanted to also show you this one. what is about this course. So let me now course structure. So there's a course structure which says which is this will be 12 to 16 weeks of instruction, 1 hour per week. Sorry for some of the technical glitches today. Hopefully it will all get ironed out. And there will be 6 to 8 homework assignments. Submission is compulsory if you want to get a certificate. If you don't want to get a certificate, it's okay. You don't have to submit. The assignments will be graded, and there will not be a final exam or something. It will only be based on assignment, because in a mathematics class, I don't want to give a final exam and just test you on these things. I want you to go and explore, like I want to learn along with you. So interpretation of similar Indian mathematical texts based on what is taught in class. So, and the goal is to independently read easier part of the text. So that should be our goal. In 12 to 16 weeks, we should be able to pick up some text and not, a lot of us have some misconception that I cannot do this. I want to break that, that's all. I just want to take you along and then say, okay, this is as easy as anything else. Okay, and then the discussion forum in the course website, please use that to learn from fellow students. We will use the discussion forum if you have any questions. And please, again, please keep questions relevant to subject matter of the course. We don't want to keep talking about something else which is not relevant to the course. It will be moderated. So, and then as I said, the course material will be the Sadratnamala of Shankara Varma. I will upload that in the course website. So this I wanted to let you know. There will be no homework this week because it's only an introduction class. But as we go along, I want us all to pick up something. It's all available online. So in the archive.com or something, I will give the text, but let us try to pick up some text and understand something, and that will be the how we will learn. So let's make use of this opportunity. Yes, the discussion forum will be in the course website. So if you go to the course website which you have enrolled in, you will see those things. Okay, and there are some hands raised also. I will give some chance, but let me look at the questions. Okay, there is one question is, I hope the other 4 chapters also will be taught in due course of time. It feels incomplete otherwise. That's correct, but let me give you my take on it. I am not an expert in astronomy, and I am unfortunately I am not equipped enough to teach the other 4 lessons. Hopefully somebody else will teach. I can take that to Vyoma. Is the hard copy of the book available? Yes, the hard copy of the book is available as you in KSRI. So if you Google for it, you will find the Kuppuswamy Research Institute, Kuppuswamy Sanskrit Research Institute is. It should be available online as a hard copy. Okay, is the there is a question which says, is the title available as simple text file? So text file, probably it is available. I have to check, but we have a PDF right now. Okay, so there are there were people who had raised hands, so I can ask you to unmute. Let me allow to talk. Sri Jairam.
Very short question. The title Sadratnamala. The word Sat is for truth, or what is the?
Satam. It's excellent. Satam Sat ityukte atra uttamam iti artha.
Uttamam. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Madhuji, you want to talk? Your question?
Namo Namah, Prabhu. Yeah, namaste. Sorry, I just joined a little late. Maybe you must have covered it. I just wanted to know which is the author we have to look for the copy to get a textbook of this.
Okay, so I'll show you the text. The textbook is like it's. I mean, you don't have to buy this book, but I highly recommend to buy the book. That's. I'll show you this. So it's by Dr. S. Madhavan.
Oh, by S. Madhavan. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And do you have like same copy of the book with Sanskrit but with Hindi translation?
No, nobody has done an Hindi translation.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So most of the actually only Leelavati has multiple translations. So very few books have Hindi translation and all these things. So it is this book. It was translated only 10 years back. So.
Oh, I see. Thank you, Mahodaya. Thank you so much.
As somebody else has mentioned, it's also available in archive.org. This book is available in archive.org. I will tell all that also if you want to buy. But I still, I mentioned that we have to support this institution, KSRI. So please also try to buy the book. It's not very costly. So is there a Sanskrit Tika for this text? No, there is no Sanskrit Tika. So I have, that's why I am trying to do something about it. So whatever I'm doing here, it's all just based on my own understanding of this. So maybe by the end of this course, we'll have some very crude Sanskrit Tika on this.
Mahodaya, I do understand Malayalam, so I'll be very interested in getting the Malayalam Vyakhanam on this somewhere.
Yeah, so you have to do your research. So
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay, there was. I'm going to mute others who are not going to talk. I'm so sorry. Because, Mallikarjuna Rao. Can you unmute and talk?
Can you hear me? Good evening, Professor. I've just joined only. Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I have only joined some time back because I also had such an getting access. Hopefully, I should be. Today? I think not much has been taught. So hopefully, I should be here from next week.
Yeah, not much at all. It's okay. Unfortunately, we also looks like we also lost the recording. It started recording the beginning. Are we recording still? I don't know. So fine. Okay, Madhu ji.
Mahodaya, I just wanted to know what was the purpose of the book. Why did Sankaravaram compile this book? I mean, like wrote this book. What was the purpose behind this?
Sorry, can you say it again?
My query is, what was the purpose of writing this work by Sankaravaram ji? Did he mention?
Good question. So basically, Sankaravarma writes this book for to summarize the teachings of all the Kerala mathematicians. So basically, it's a more of a summary overview, if you will. Like let's say somebody asked you to just summarize whatever you have learned so far in this text in the Parampara mathematics and Jyotisham. He writes a very overview text on Jyotisham.
Oh, tamam. Wow, very nice. Thank you so much.
Okay, is there any Arun Kumar Tangavelu there? Okay, I'm going to unmute.
Yes, Mahodaya. What are all the aspects of mathematics is taught in this course, Mahodaya?
Okay, so good question. Let's go. So parikarmashtakam, ashta parikarmani santi. So there are 8 basic operations. So basically, this course don't expect to learn some great mathematics textbooks. So it will be addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, squaring, cubing, cube root, square root and cube root. That's it. Those are the things. And paribhasha prakaranam. So basically, it is about mensuration, some units. That's all. So it will be
in the ancient days, how they did this calculation are taught in this.
Yeah, the ancient, yeah, correct. So the thing is, and it is not, it's not any much different from what we do it in current days. So basically, you will not see some, you'll see some little difference. Basically, one of the things is for example, square root. The technique I just checked the NCERT text. I find that the technique given here is much easier than the NCERT texts. I don't know why.
Because Tamil literature, ancient Tamil literature has some few mathematical books. Those techniques are very different from the current mathematical techniques. So, are there any techniques or sutras taught in those ancient literature of Sanskrit when compared to this modern mathematics?
Whatever technique we are going to see here, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division is the same. For squares and squaring also is the same. Square root, there's a technique is little different from what we currently learn in school. and cube root, and also he gives a very different technique for square root and cube root, which we will see. But it is not very much different. It's not like something like we have discovered something great or something. If you learn it, it will be okay. It's a slightly different technique for what we learned right now. But one thing is, I feel the technique which is there in square root technique, which is seen here, is much easier than what is taught in NCERT texts. But I don't know why. I'm sure people in NCERT know that about these techniques. It's I don't know why it's not been incorporated. That's a different discussion altogether.
Thank you, Mahodaya.
Okay, if there are any more questions. Okay, so what is the meaning of the word kavu? In Sanskritam, in kavu is like in Malayalam, I think it is some mangrove. If we say like it's a garden kind of thing, but more of like the mangroves is what I think is mean. So, is it a Sanskrit word or Malayalam? Kavu is a Malayalam word. Okay, so I think we'll end the class now. I'm going to show the screen again. We will go down quickly. Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena महिषाः Gro Brahmaneभ्यः Shubhamastu Nityam Lokaः Samastah Sukhino Bhavantu.